look at the distance between third, where Skyline is, and fourth, and maybe he's gonna try to push his luck.
He's making me nervous. I'm telling you, if he can hang on to third, he's got 7% fuel. I just don't see it, but Sky, he is a number cruncher. If anyone can do it, this is the guy that can do it. So, while I'm over here probably more nervous than he is, man, he's down to 6% already. We'll see. We'll see. Fingers are crossed for you, Sky. But man, you are really pushing your luck out here. Guys in chat, do you think he's gonna make it? I have to know.
I know, right?
Let's take a look at that current leader, though. 35% fuel. He is in no worries. Good to go. He is about 500 feet in front of Garbage. So this is the final lap here. He just crossed over for 34 of 35. If he can hold on to it for the remainder of this lap, he will be your winner here at the Grand Prix of Homestead. So that will be his second win. We've had 3 different winners so far this season out of 3 races. I'm not sure that we can make it 4 different winners here because he's already won, and the guy behind him, his teammate, wow, that's Garbage, he also has a win. So either way, if one of these 2 guys wins, that's going to be 2 for them so far. All right, these guys are rounding out the final part of it. Sky, he's at 2%.
1.6, 1.5, 1.4, 1.3, 1.2. Count
Let's
it down.
get Ferrari
1.
past the line. He's your winner at Homestead. Congratulations to Ferrari Nut. Wow, that's Garbage in seconds. Can we get a Sky past the line? Amazingly enough, this guy does it. He is at 0%. Unbelievable. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to do a quick mic check. Make sure everything is good to go. Hope y'all are doing well tonight. We have a lot of racing going on. We have Michigan going on right now. We have IndyCar series. But it's a busy night. How you doing, 49er?
I am fine, Frozen. Ready for an exciting race on our end. You know, I was going to post earlier that I had to stop watching a race so I could go watch a race.
It's so true, and here we are. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SnB's IndyCar Series, race number 5, here at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. This track holds the iconic fountain that can either be fantastic scenery or a nightmare, as some might get trapped in the surrounding bed, so hopefully we don't see that tonight. But with 3 different winners so far this season, the question is, who will we see take home the victory tonight? Will we see a 4th different winner, or will it be another familiar face? But before we get to tonight's race, we gotta get in our driver spotlight, which is veteran driver of the number 86 car, Hayden Sammons, who is currently 11th in points, racing for Honda team Raging Redneck Racing. How you doing tonight, Hayden?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fabulous. If you're ready, let's get started on the questions.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, your first question. What aspects of driving do you excel at, and what do you struggle with?
Well, I'm better on the short track side of things. I'm just my bread and butter. I love racing at tracks like Bristol, Richmond, places like that. But I think I struggle with versus of course, if IndyCar league's mainly road courses, I'm here to get better at these things and work my way up.
It's definitely a perfect place to do that, and I've already seen improvements in your racing, so I cannot wait to see how you grow this season and what you come out with. All right,
Hey.
For your next question, what do you do for fun other than racing and video games?
Well, I play football
Oh,
and
nice.
basketball. Football season's starting us very soon, and I'm really busy, but hopefully I can get everything in and continue racing with you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I gotta ask, for football, not that I know anything about football at all, but what position do you play?
I play defensive tackle.
All right, cool. I don't know anything about it, but it sounds like it's pretty aggressive. So,
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know anything about football, but what position do you play on the field, or are you coming out of the stands?
it sounds pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
tough. It's really tough to be there.
That's cool, though. Your next question, a very easy question for some. Others, it might be hard, but what is your favorite movie, Hayden Salmons?
Talladega Nights.
I love it. I love it. I mean, you're in a club that's called Shake and Bake. Obviously, it was influenced by Talladega Nights, so you know I'm a fan of that.
Yeah.
All right, your next question. What are your goals for this season?
One of my goals is just to, have a good points outing and hopefully get in the top 10 of what's sitting 11th. If we can get a good race here today, we can possibly be in the top 10. But it's going to be a little bit tough. Duke's a lot far ahead of us in points. But we're going to come out here, show what we got, and hopefully bring home a win maybe. But it's going to be tough to get that. But we're just looking to get some good finishes and a good points outing this year.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a stacked field, so a lot of competitive drivers out there. But I think that you are one that can absolutely do it. So fingers crossed for you on that one. And your last question, Hayden. If you could do any race over again, which race would you choose and why?
I'd probably choose this season's Homestead Oval race.
Mm-hmm.
I was just really fast there. I was in the lead, and my internet decided to go and leave.
Yes.
We had a great car that race.
Yeah.
I wish I stayed in it. We got a good finish there.
We got to keep you in for the rest of the season, especially in the ovals, because you know those, you're familiar with them. We have another oval coming up, so hopefully you can pull out a win there. That would be pretty awesome. And a road course, because I know that's one of the things that you really want to work on. So hopefully we'll see you out there in victory lane, Hayden.
All right, thank you.
Of course. Everyone, that is Hayden Salmons. He is a very, very talented driver, a veteran. He is in that Honda team, Raging Redneck Racing. So wish him a lot of luck tonight in that number 86 car. It looks like these guys are getting ready to go to qualifying. 49er, before we get to qualifying, I'm going to bring out the betting. We've had a lot of driver changes, and I hate to say this, and I hate to see it because there's so many talented drivers that had to back out. But we had Notorious Nate. He's got a lot of stuff going on with schooling, so he's got to have classes during this time, so I hate to see him go. Aries, he is officially out. His job is obviously more important. And BDF, he has officially backed out. We are now welcoming a new member, Pert Monkey. He will be racing tonight. We saw him as a fill-in. He is another talented driver, so huge welcome to him, and I hope he does really well, 49er.
I do too. As you said, it's unfortunate, that we lose drivers, and they were very, very talented drivers, and we're gonna miss seeing them racing around, making left turns and right turns depending on the track. And I'm sure that their talents will be missed. At the same time, it gives others a chance to maybe step up and move up and improve, and it also opens the door for a fill-in driver who's now is a full-time driver, Mr. Pert Monkey.
Absolutely. I mean, we have so many seats moving around and new drivers coming and drivers having to unfortunately back out, and they're all saying hopefully we'll see you again the next season. So I'm hoping obviously to see them again, and I think we will. But before we get on to qualifying, let's talk about last week at Homestead. We saw some great battles with BDF, who got pole, but unfortunately his chance of capturing a win vanished on pit road as they gave him no fuel or tires. Wow and Ferrari Nut, they battled out front after pit cycles, and Sky made a bold strategy call, staying out on no fuel and tires, bringing home a podium finish. Ferrari Nut, he captured his second win of the season, and wow, that's garbage, he brought home a second. So a great race, and from what I'm understanding, Ferrari Nut loves this track, does really well here, so I think that is a person you're gonna have to watch out for. A lot of different strategies, guys. We're going to have to watch that. We're going to see lap times anywhere from a minute 9 to upper minute 10s. For some, it'll be a one-stop pit for the race. For some, it's going to be a 2 pit stopper. We'll see what they can do, but tonight's race is 38 laps. We will have a pace lap at the beginning and a cool down lap at the end. So it's going to be a wild ride tonight. I can't wait to see it get started.
You know, Frozen, this track is one of those tracks, excuse me, it's guaranteed to be an intense race and an exciting race. And, you know, if you're into landscaping, the roundabout where all the pretty nice little plants are going to be, that thing's going to get trashed.
So true. It's so true. And I'm hoping we don't see anyone in the flowers. But the way it goes and the way Long Beach is, I have a feeling we're going to see at least one victim in there. Well, hopefully not, but I think we're going to see it. So, Mike, I want to give a shout out to all of you in chat. Let's see. Sky is saying, be running without TCS this race. This is how IndyCar should be ran. So keep an eye out for slipping and sliding out of us at least. So he's telling me that J-Mac, Ferrari, and Sky will be running out there without TCS. So that is going to be a lot of slipping and sliding. There's a lot of turns that are pretty sharp out here. And once that tire wear starts kicking in, they're going to do a lot of slipping and sliding. So we're going to have to watch them. The guys around them are going to have to take that into account and try to maneuver around that and take it easy around them.
Slip sliding away.
Oh, geez. All right, we're just waiting for Hayden Sammons. It is. It's gonna be crazy. We're just waiting for Hayden Sammons. He says he needs basically some new batteries for the controller. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to lose his batteries in the middle of a race.
That's always something.
I know. But as soon as we get that going, we will get going to qualifying. So if you do want to put in a bet on your favorite driver, go ahead and do that now, or you can wait till after qualifying to see who will be on pole. We got some fast drivers out there tonight. Let's see if we have...
Or you could do like I do and wait till the end of the race and then pick who you're going to be.
You can't do that. At least you can't do it and make some moolah off of it. Fake moolah, at least.
Yeah, well, I think I'm still a lug nut or something. I'm not sure. I'm not
Poor
gonna,
49er. We gotta move you on up. Sky's out there being a water boy.
Nice.
I know. He goes, man, I know I've watched way more than 7 hours of these streams.
Exactly. I feel you, Skyland. I know
it's
exactly
possible.
what you're talking about.
It's possible.
Frozen's got it on some kind of new math system where like 1 hour only equals 10 minutes.
You know, I don't know. And I've thought about putting it on where if you watch, the VODs that you will get credit for it and get some hours in. But then some people are just going to leave it on there all day and then like they'll be beating me out in hours and then I'm going to be left in the dust.
Right.
So I'm just like, nah, we'll just leave it like this. This will be good.
Just put it on there and then go mow your lawn.
Exactly. All right.
So who are you picking, Frozen?
You know, I won last week with Ferrari Nut. This week, I know this is his strong track, and what I'm gathering from some people, there is not a lot of drivers this week that are really fond of this track. A lot of them are not fans of this track at all, honestly. So, I'm going to have to go with Ferrari Nut again this week. He says that this is a road course that he knows he is good at, he is confident with. So, tonight, my pick, and apparently Mike Sobieski's, our pick is going to be Ferrari Nut.
Okay. And you hit me with this last week, so I'm going to hit you back. Who do you think is going to be the dark horse? Who should we watch out for?
That's a tough one. You're putting me on the spot now.
Turnabout's fair play, young lady.
So true. Man, there's a lot of drivers that are very capable of bringing this out. I think J-Mac is one to look out for. Flo, he's having some issues with his pedals, but if he can get past that, I think he will be another that will be up there competing for the win, along with Sky. These guys are all very talented drivers. You can't dismiss the rookies even, because these guys, they've done a ton of practicing out here for tonight. We are out here currently riding with Ferrari Net 94. These guys do have the Ghost on, so they only have to worry about where they are going. They're not going to hit each other. They can drive right through, so they just need to get that line together, get that fastest lap of around 109 to 110. But guys, it's got to be clean. Like we've said several times, if it's not clean, you're going straight to the back, and that is not a place you want to start. So what they need to work on tonight is consistency and keeping it clean. We're out here watching Leaf Justin in that GoPro car. Looking pretty good so far. I cannot wait to see what these guys put on as far as lap times go. We're on lap 1 of 3, so the first one is just obviously getting up to speed and getting a handle on your car. You see Ferrari not getting a little slippery out there on that turn right in front of Justin, but we'll see what they can do here. 49er, who are you watching?
I am watching. Whoa, I'm watching David make 1989 as he maneuvers around this track. You know, I kind of was having fun watching David drive because I know the cars are ghosted, so I'm clowning, saying, you know, get off of Scissors. You're on top of his head. But we do have some potential here for some pretty fast laps. You know, hopefully the guys got enough practice in where they feel comfortable with the track and all of the turns. I mean, I'm looking at it now, and all this motion is making me sick.
Yeah, you know, this is one of my favorite tracks. It gets a bad rep, but I love this track. I don't know what it is about it. So far we have Skylin with a 112. That was just the first lap. We still need to get these guys around to finish up that second lap. Then we'll see the real lap times coming out here. But there is a lot of specific turns that you really have to pay attention to, especially the final turn.
Mm-hmm.
The first turn is going to be something we're going to have to look out for. That seems to be a theme in these Indy cars. All the first turns are pretty harsh turns that when you try to stuff 14 to 16 people down these turns, it can get very tricky, and we're going to have guys right on top of each other. So they're going to have to watch that again tonight, especially around the fountain and the flower bed. Another place, and that's right around turns 2 and 3 here. So another place they're going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, this track is, I mean, if you're a fan of tracks with a lot of turns and precision turns and hairpoint turns and everything, this track is pretty much, you know, for you, because, you know, like you said, you come out of the first turn and then it's a sharp turn and there's going to be a lot of gathering there, and then you've got the flower bed and the roundabout, and then as soon as they come off of that, then they got another sharp turn, so they've got to gather themselves quickly enough to make sure that, you know, they get past that turn. I think there's only one decent straightaway where they might have a shot to pass. This is going to be a pretty interesting race because there's not a lot of room to pass.
Absolutely. And you know, these tire barriers, I think we're going to see a couple of drivers collected in those barriers. They can be pretty devastating. We just saw Duke the Rebel come out of a spot that is known to collect some drivers. So we're going to have to watch that also. This track is just very treacherous. And if you try to take it 2 and 3 wide, it's just going to be very disastrous. So tonight's race, we've heard a lot of drivers talk about how they need to be cautious. They're going to take it easy and just hope that they keep their car damage free. It looks like so far, look at this 49er. We have Duke the Rebel with the 110.7. Looks to be the fastest so far tonight.
Wow. That's, you know, it shows that, you know, he must have put in a lot of practice. I'm sure he's familiar with this track. And that's awesome for him. I'm still riding with David, and I mean, he hasn't messed up one time, so I can tell he's put in a lot of practice to get familiar with this track.
Absolutely. And a lot of these drivers were riding in the 109s. But you gotta be consistent and you gotta keep it clean. So we'll see if Duke brings it home and is a clean lap. That's the most important thing. You gotta be clean. So we'll see if that happens. For the guys in chat, Joey Clark, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Enjoy the race tonight. If you want to get those bets in, get it in. I'll bring that up so you can place the bet if you haven't seen it. These guys are very talented. I cannot wait to see if that lap is clean. I know Duke has to be super excited if that is a clean lap, and he is indeed on pole. So let's take a look and see what we have here. All right, let's go down to Duke. It is a clean lap, so your pole sitter for tonight will be Duke the Rebel. Ferrari Nut, look how close these guys are. We have a 110.765 from your pole sitter, Duke the Rebel. We have a 110.782 for Ferrari Nut. Let's see if we have any other takers for the 110s. We have JMac, 110.788. Flow Dog, he's a 111. We have a couple of 110s out here. Leaf Justin, yeah, 110.816. So a lot of guys very, very close together. Where's our driver spot like? I'm thinking the batteries took a hike on him.
Yeah, I'm wondering what happened to Dion. He's a DNF.
He did get a DNF, and I saw him on road. He was not moving anywhere, so I don't know if he was having some engine difficulties, but he was not moving. So now's your chance to get the bets in. I'll tell you that I did root for Ferrari Nut. Duke the Rebel, he would be an amazing dark horse to get out there as a bet. So if you have a driver you want to place a bet on, do it now, because we're going to take it down before the race starts. But these guys, what incredible times. Very, very close together. 38 laps. Like I said, we're going to have a pace lap before to get these guys in line. And we're also going to do a cool down lap at the end. So it's going to be 40 total, but 38 racing laps.
What? I think this is going to be a fast race.
I think we're going to see a couple of cautions. You know, it's one of those, like I said, the first turn is going to be what these guys are going to struggle with. Once we get past that and the iconic fountain there, I think we'll be smooth sailing once these guys get spread out. But once we get that settled, I think it will be a pretty fast race, 49er. I think you're right on that.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't have any cautions. I mean, you know, the guys, they've raced this track before. I'm sure they've paired up and grouped up and practiced, you know, so they can get that real race feel and understand how the turns can be impacted when there's more than one car trying to drive into the turn. So hopefully we won't see a lot of cautions. But like you said earlier, and they may be in places that we don't even suspect that they're going to happen, other than the obvious, you know, places. So anything could happen. I'm wondering where your caution counter is.
We do need our caution counter. I don't see him in the chat here, so we're gonna have to try to take that on ourselves. If we have any caution counters out there that want to keep track of cautions just as something fun to do, you can start counting those if you want. Meta Rules said, what? You are not watching? You're not watching. Yeah, David, you are racing, so you can count them. You're our usual caution counter, but you're racing, so you can't do that.
Nice. Thanks for the offer, though.
I know.
Make sure you're not in one of those.
Yes, make sure you're not in those, David. We don't want to see you in the flower beds. I don't want to see you out there just sniffing those flowers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once we get these drivers readied up, we'll get going to racing here at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. David, they do look so pretty, don't they? And it's a fountain. What's not fun about that? You just gotta take a look, but you can't get too close. Just stay away from it.
Yeah, it's just there for show. It's not there to drive over.
Exactly. Looks like we just have one driver waiting to ready up, and he is officially ready. Now we have J-Mac. We are ready to go, so let's get moving on. 38 laps at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. It'll be an amazing race. I'm super pumped about this. And next week will be an off week, guys. So we will come back, and we will be moving out to the 2019 IndyCars. A huge change for these guys.
Well, here we go.
Absolutely. Metal rules. I am not watching the NASCAR race. I was watching it earlier, but the show must go on. The IndyCar series is on the move, as you can see here. All right. Let's get this all lined up. That's not a good camera angle for this. So we're going to start off with our pole sitter, Duke the Rebel. He is in that number 86 Honda for Raging Redneck Racing. His first pole of the season, and I know this guy has to be super pumped. In second, we have Ferrari Nut 94. He's in that number 62 Honda for Nighthawk Williams Racing. In third, we have J-Mac, who is in the number 1 car, Chevy Racing A Racing. He is your previous champion, too, for Season 3, so that'll be one to watch out for. In fourth, we have Leaf Justin, that number 24 Chevy. He is J-Mac's teammate for Racing A Racing. In fifth, we have Larry B. the G in the number 73 in that Honda. He is out there for Redemption Racing. In sixth, we have Flow Dog. He is in that number 81 Chevy for Fluffball Motorsports. I swear that name.
You gotta love that. You gotta love that.
You do, don't you? In seventh, we have his teammate Skylin, who is in that number 04 for Chevy for Fluffball Motorsports. And 49er, if you want to take it away.
I sure will, Frozen. Currently starting in 8th place, we have Mr. Votek, part of the A-Tech Chevy racing team, driving the number 76. In 9th place, we have Scissor Blades, who is part of the Slice and Dice racing team, driving the Chevy number 5. In 10th, we have David 1989. He's part of that. Can I do it? Can I do it? There's no need to fear. Underdog is here. Part of that dynamic Underdog Racing Honda driving the number 89. I love that. And welcome to full-time driving in season 4 of SnB Indy, Mr. Monkey. Pert Monkey. He is driving the number 16 Chevy, and he is independent. He said, I don't need no team. I'm good enough on my own. So good luck and welcome to you, Mr. Monkey. Then number 12 and 12th place starting, we have Mr. Hayden Salmons, who is part of, gotta clear my throat, that Raging Redneck Racing, driving the number 76 car. He was also our pre-race interview. Good luck to Hayden, and I hope you get to stay this race. You know, that Wi-Fi you got, we need to talk about that, dude. 13th, Mr. Dion for Dub, another part of that Underdog Racing, driving the number 42 Honda. And he is the last driver starting in the field.
I like that little Hello Kitty he's got in the front. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your field for tonight. Duke the Rebel on the pole. These guys are ready to start the race. We're going to line them up and get them out on a pace lap, get them moving out. But man, even doing a pace lap here can be pretty tricky. They are not going to line up double file until they hit the front stretch. So they're going to have to line up pretty quickly once they get around the entire lap. Once they get lined up double file on the front stretch, they will go green. And Duke the Rebel will be counting them down from the pole position.
Uh-oh, I got company coming.
Monkey Dust says, the PYRT equals pirate. Monkey, excuse us. You know, we've messed up a few names every now and then, so we'll get it right next
Yeah,
time.
I apologize. I mean, it feels awkward just saying monkey, and I don't want to. I mean, I thought it was like Michael Jackson's PYT, and I didn't want to say it that way. So, I mean, I could call you PM or, something. PM Dawn.
Either way, it works. We're coming up around the final few turns here. We're going to get these guys lined up. These guys are warming those tires up. They want to make sure everything is good to go. We're taking a look at our pole sitter, the number 86, Duke the Rebel for Raging Redneck Racing. That is a mouthful. You want to know how they got their name?
Yeah.
His teammate Hayden Sammons. He calls himself a Raging Redneck. He's got that little country bumpkin accent going there. He was your driver spotlight tonight, so
Yeah.
that is where
Country
they.
bumpkin.
Yeah, absolutely. You see Ferrari Nut and J-Mac getting into it a little bit there. They do have damage on, guys, so they really need to watch even how they warm the tires here tonight. You can hear the drivers joking around about exactly what I just said, so sounds like they're in good spirits at the beginning of the race. Will it be the same for towards the end of the race?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a different story, 49er. Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to agree. I tend to agree with you on that one there, Frozen.
All right, these guys are going to start lining up double file quickly, and then we will get moving on the green. Duke will count them down. We'll get to some green flag racing here. Let's see how they do the start. Here they go, green, green, green. We are green for the Grand Prix of Long Beach. Duke, it's a fantastic start. We have Ferrari Nut behind him just a little bit. But man, these guys are going to really stack up going into the turn. You can see 3 wide going through that first turn. Do we have any casualties? I don't know if you're watching back there, but man, oh man, I want to keep an eye on all these guys.
Yeah, it looks like we had one minor casualty. I didn't see what exactly happened, but looks like David and Dion may have suffered a little bit going through the first turn.
We are currently sitting in third with J-Mac Attack, who is right behind Ferrari Nut. Duke the Rebel having a strong run out there, but Ferrari Nut is not letting him get away. And fourth, we have Leaf Justin. He was not so confident about his car tonight. They're going to have a lot of different pit strategies, and I think that's what he was concerned about. But I think he's going to find that tonight. Oh, a little bit of contact between J-Mac and Ferrari Nut. J-Mac backs it off to make sure he doesn't do any harm to Ferrari Nut, but man, that was a close call. Who are you keeping an eye on there, 49er?
I came up here to watch Justin and the 4-car battle that we have up here in the front, but I'm gonna go back here and see what's going on with Dion, because it looks like he may be struggling, and it looks like David may have driven into something, because Dion is struggling to get back, and looks like David is having a little trouble too.
Yeah, he has got a ton of damage as he goes into pit road, limping his way there. Let's take a look at David and see what's going on with him. He looks okay. I don't see any issues with him. He should be good to go. Let's bring it back up to the front here with the leader, Duke the Rebel, your pole sitter. Side by side, these already guys are fighting. Ferrari Nut takes over the lead as he passes underneath Duke the Rebel. Clean pass as they go by. Duke the Rebel takes over second. Ferrari Nut is your new leader. What just happened there? As soon as I see Duke the Rebel passes him right back up. Fantastic for him. That was pretty crazy, I gotta say.
Uh-oh, Ferrari drove into the tires.
Yeah, I'm watching that, and I'm hearing a very frustrated Ferrari Nut over the radio. I am not sure what's going on with him. He's got some kind of malfunctioning going on with his controller or something. But J-Mac Attack has moved up to second. Leaf Justin has taken over third. Ferrari Nut quickly falling into the clutches of the field as he is moving back to 11th. Absolutely devastating start for him.
Frozen, we all know. I mean, not saying one is better than the other, but there are some drivers here, Ferrari being one of them, that are more experienced on circuit tracks. So for him to have something like that happen, it has to be equipment and not ability.
Yeah. He is having a technical difficulty with his car out here. Something has come unplugged and he had to plug it back in, get that car moving once again. But how quickly you can go from first all the way back to 11th. He's going to have quite the battle to try to make it back up there. But if anyone can do it, he can. But Mike, I'll tell you what, you and I betted on Ferrari Nut tonight. He's going to have a lot of work to do to make it back up there.
You can't give up hope, though. You got to hold on. Keep hope alive.
And just as we talk about a battle he has, he already had to go into pit road from damage he got after a malfunction happened. And he is your first taker on pit road. Unscheduled stop. That is definitely going to hurt him out here. It's only lap 5 of 40. So that's something he does not want to see.
You know, as we're in the beginning stages, you know, lap 5 of 40, including the pre-race and the cool-down laps, I can't help but notice, and I'm sure the viewers see it too, that you've been busy with your stream again. I like the little green flag banner down there at the bottom.
Oh yes, thank you. Yeah, I have some new graphics and I just had to take it off because if you don't remind me, I will apparently just leave it on there for the entire race. But yeah, it is a new edition, and since I have so many things going on during the race, I just took it off. Thank you, 49er. We're out here watching Larry B the G, and currently in 6th, and I'll tell you what, he just barely missed that tire barrier, and this guy has been practicing quite a lot out here. We have Hayden Salmons, the driver spotlight, directly behind him in 7th. Hayden has been out here practicing quite a bit. We'll see how these guys can do, but 73 of Larry B the G is looking pretty good out here so far.
Absolutely. I mean, we've talked about it in all of the races. At some point in the race, Larry has been like in contention and up front and running with the leaders and the lead packs and everything. So, you know, he doesn't have a problem at the beginning of the race. It's when things start happening towards the end of the race, it's what usually bites him in the exhaust pipe. So hopefully he can maintain where he's at and continue to drive a good race.
Absolutely. We are currently sitting with Scissor Blades in 8. He is a veteran driver out there for Slice and Dice Motorsports in that number 5 car. He's looking pretty good as he sits behind Hayden Salmons in the 7th position. Ferrari Nut has since come out and he is traveling behind Scissor Blades, but it's not looking so good. He is currently a lap down, if I'm not mistaken. Definitely not a place you want to be so far early in the race. Let's take it back to this leader, 49er. He is about 200 feet ahead of J-Mac, who is in 2nd. Let's take a look at tire wear and everything else that we're looking at. 31% for tire wear for Duke the Rebel. I'm expecting these guys can last anywhere, and it is going to be a huge range tonight simply because of different users. Wheel users are possibly going to be a little more gentle on the wheels tonight. They can probably last anywhere from 17 to 23 laps. And when you have a 38 lap race, that's going to make a 1 pit stopper. Controller users are going to be a little bit more harsh on the tires. They may have to come in twice, and that is going to make a huge difference. You lose a lot of time on pit road. So those drivers that can hold out on 1 pit stop, they're going to have a lot more tire wear, and they will have to compensate for that. But if they can take it easy on those tires, they may be the ones that you see in the front of the pack. '49er, who are you out there
Let's
watching?
see. I'm going back here, going back to 10th place and watching Hayden as he's coming out of the pits. It's a little early. I wonder if he had some trouble. It's a little early to be going into the pits.
Yeah, that is pretty early. I'm curious if he did have some damage possibly affecting his handling. He makes it around the flower bed pretty good. We have Votech behind him. Let's take a look at Votech, see if he possibly went in for a pit stop also. Some of these guys, you know, like I told you, it's going to vary quite a bit on when they go in. But it looks like, I'm thinking Votech did go in not too long ago. Possible damage early on in the race when we had the beginning lap there. So he's definitely going to go in again. There's no way he can make it out there for the rest of the time.
So, having had to, for whatever reason, pit at lap 8 of 38, what do you think he's thinking now? Because if he was planning on doing one stop, he pretty much blew that out of the water. So when do you go in now?
You know, I didn't get to talk to him about a strategy beforehand, but obviously he's at a 2 pit stop range at the moment, so he's gonna have to wash the tires, and hopefully he can hold out till around, hopefully maybe 24, 25, and going around that time frame. For the rest of these guys, some of them will just naturally do that if they are on a wheel and they can conserve the tires, but it's going to be pretty close. They'll probably come in around 23 if they can hold out that long. I don't think we're going to see a lot of guys doing that. I think we're going to see most of the field come in for a 2-stopper. I think guys that we see stay out for most of the race will be people like Sky, Flow Dog possibly, but he's been having some issues with the brakes and the gas pedals, so we'll see what kind of pit strategy they pull out tonight.
The leaders are getting pretty close to some lap traffic. Hopefully they get to a point where they can overtake them.
You know, we'll see. Duke the Rebel he's very consistent out here tonight, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. J-Mac is pulling up to him, though, just a little by little, so he's doing a great job. Justin seems to be falling back just a little bit from these top 2 guys, but he is currently in 3rd. And, you know, hearing this guy talk earlier about how he was not so confident about his race tonight, he was just going for consistency and trying to hang on to the tires and everything else. So for him to be running currently in 3rd, as long as he keeps an eye on those tires, he'll be good to go. I mean, he's looking pretty strong out here tonight.
Absolutely, and I'm riding with Flow Dog right now, who's currently in 5th. And there's a nice little, I don't want to say battle, but, you know, you've got Justin in 3rd, Skyline in 4th, and Flow Dog is in 5th. Ferrari not trying to make up time as he just passed. He's moving through the leaders, trying to get that lead lap, get back on the lead lap. I'm sure he couldn't wait for a caution. But Flo's driving a really, really good race. But like you said, yeah, Justin's starting to fall back a little bit, but it's still early. There's still plenty of time.
It is still early, and these guys from about 4th on are really battling it out back here. But man, the damage that happened to Ferrari Nut really hurt him. You see Flow Dog gets into the wall just a little bit. I don't know if he's struggling with handling or if it was a braking issue. I know, like I said, he's been struggling with that. I mean, he looks okay with his tire wear. He's doing great on that. That shouldn't be an issue. However, Ferrari Nut having that issue early on, that makes a whole new race for these guys. And like you said, he really needs a caution. In order for him to get back on that lead lap with everybody else, he needs that caution to come out, and he will go ahead and get that lap back. But until then, he's at the helm of everyone else who is going through the pit cycles, which should be happening in the next several laps.
You hit the nail on the head, you know. And the thing about it is, you know, we know, as I'm sure the viewers know, how capable and how talented Ferrari Nut is. So, the guys that are on the front in the front pack now, and the guys that are leading now. I mean, it's not that they couldn't get there on their own, but it doesn't hurt to have someone with Ferrari Nut's talent have a mishap, and that's just one less thing that you got to worry about now. But if he gets back on the lead lap, even starting from the back, I'd be looking in my rearview mirror.
And that they should. Even already, this guy is already running a minute 9. He is faster than everyone else in the field so far. We didn't even see that lap time in qualifying. So this guy is a man on a mission. He knows that he needs to run the race of his life to get back up there, and that's exactly what he's doing as he sits a lap down. He's currently in 12th, but you cannot count this guy out. We're on lap 13 of 40, so there's plenty of time for a caution. But I'll tell you what, these guys are running a fantastic race. And for those guys that are not running, they're not doing the TCS, doing a great job out there. We saw earlier J-Mac get a little bit wiggly coming out of the turn, but that's to be expected at this track, especially not running in those assists.
Yeah, that's an impressive. I mean, it's a very valuable assist to have if you're still trying to get used to things. But if you can drive and maneuver any track, not just this one, with the TCS off, I mean, mad props to you, because that's very impressive. I'm still riding with Flo, still currently in 5th, but he's kind of fallen back now. I mean, there's a good distance between him and 4th place Skyler.
And while you're out there watching them, I'll tell you what, I'm out here watching our current leader, who has led every single lap so far. Well, no, I can't say that, because Ferrari was out there leading the lap for a little bit. He is out here behind a lap car of Vodtech, and I'm curious if that is going to allow J-Mac to catch up to him. Duke is over the radio, asked Vodtech, who just crammed into the wall. J-Mac makes it by, but man, that took care of that pretty quickly, and Duke, I guarantee you, just had the life scared out of him, but he is on his way. Clear air ahead. J-Mac made it by unscathed, but man, that was a close call.
Yeah, can you imagine driving the track? You're coming to one of, it's not a dangerous turn, but a turn nonetheless, and you're making sure that you hit your mark, and all of a sudden there's a car facing the wrong direction with its butt sticking out, and you got to try to get around it. So
absolutely,
good job, Duke.
It can be pretty crazy, and this guy is very focused right now. I don't hear any communication going on over the radio. Just a little bit from Duke asking Vodtech to get out of the way if he could once he catches up to him, but we saw what happened there. Besides that, these guys are very silent over the radio. Nothing going on. They are all very focused on getting the job done as quickly as they can. I do want to give a shout out to everyone in chat. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I hope you're enjoying the race. Tag, thank you for the follow. Bone Crusher. That is an incredibly fast time. These guys are on default. You can see that we had Ferrari Nut as the fastest time, a minute 9.6. So the guy is flying, and he's gonna have to, because he is a lap down after having some technical difficulties in the car. Who are you out there watching, 49er?
I'm riding with J-Mac right now, and I'm just noticing the nice little, J-Mac probably doesn't think it's nice, but the nice gap that Duke has put between himself and J-Mac, and no sooner than I say that than I saw the front of Justin. No, that's Ferrari Nut. Well, he's in 10th place.
Yes. He's in 10th, but 49er, like I said, this is man on a mission, and he was just all over the heels of J-Mac attack and made his way around him once they got past the flowers, and he's well on his way. He's going to catch up to Duke. He's going to go ahead and get his lap back on his own without a caution. Absolutely incredible. He's still got a long road ahead of him. We're on lap 16 of 40, so he still has a long road ahead, but man, he is making his way up there in a hurry.
Absolutely, and that's what I was going to say. I'm riding with J-Mac, and I see the front end of a car go come up on his on his back end, and then all of a sudden it's all around him on the side, and I'm like, who the heck was that? And it was Ferrari. Like, yeah, you're right. He's a man on a mission, and it would be great for him if he could get back on the lead lap without the caution, because then if there is a caution, that just puts he gets a chance to move into the back of the field, and it's on then.
Absolutely. But, you know, what I'm concerned for him is these guys are racing so clean and so great out there. Will they get a caution? Ferrari is just hoping and praying that they bring out the caution. Something happens. Votek, you saw him wreck into the wall directly in front of our the leader out there. They somehow all made it around. So we're going to see if that happens, but it's going to be close. Bone Crusher, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. This is a heck of a battle. These guys are just doing a great job out here. 49er. I'm hearing Larry B the G announcing quietly in stream, this track really does cook those tires. And I tell you what, it does. We're on lap 18 of 40. We're going to have some takers for pit road coming up very shortly. But you can see how far spread out they are over the track as Ferrari Nut is quickly approaching Duke the Rebel.
Do you want to say it, Frozen, or do you want me to say it?
You go ahead and say it.
Larry B the G, welcome to Long Beach.
So true. So true. And then right after I hear that, as we see Ferrari Nut on the heels of Duke the Rebel, our leader, I hear Duke just saying no, 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 no. These guys are racing very close, and Ferrari Nut is just putting the pressure on Duke. Duke is going to have to remain flawless. You know, just let him go by. That's what I'm thinking. Ferrari Nut goes underneath and gets by. He will get his lap back after that pass, but Duke just needs to worry about racing his own race. Let Ferrari do his thing. He is off and running. Just make sure that J-Mac doesn't catch him, and J-Mac, he's about 500 feet away at the moment, but he's still on the roll here.
Yeah, so and I am in no way, shape, or form making any kind of fun at Duke. But if he was that nervous with Ferrari around him and all Ferrari was trying to do was get his lap back, yeah, you better hope he stays back there, because he, you know, it's still early. It's anyone's race. You pointed out they still have, you know, everybody's still got to go into the pits. So, yeah, it could happen in the blink of an eye. But Duke's running a great race. So if he keeps driving the way he's driving, he shouldn't have anything to worry about. But that it's always that, you know, that light in the corner of your eye that, you know, he's out there.
Absolutely. We see a new mover up into third. We have Skyland, who is currently on the podium position, top three. Flow Dog, I look behind him, and he has passed Leaf Justin to take over fourth. So let's take a look at Flow Dog as he has passed up Leaf Justin for fourth. Justin is currently in fifth. We have Scissor Blades in sixth. We're seeing a lot of wheel drivers move up through the field. Amazingly enough, I don't know that I've seen anyone for takers as far as pit road goes, and from what I'm understanding, a lot of these guys could only go about 16 or so laps, so I'm very impressed. These guys must have figured out something last second, but man, oh man, what an incredible race. Let's take a look at Duke the Rebel. He's in seventh as he does take pit road. He is out there, so our new leader will be J-Mac Attack.
I'm riding with Justin. Come on, Justin, I'm pulling for you. The women, your Canadian women's national team won their game today, so you got to represent now. Come on.
He's got a lot of company behind him. He's got Scissor Blades. Well, I thought he had someone else behind him, but it looks like most of it is in front of him. We have a Flow Dog about 200 feet.
That's because Larry B the G drove into some tires.
Oh no. You know, I heard him say earlier today that he has hit a couple of those, and as soon as I say that, Justin hits the tire barrier on the way into pit road. That is going to slow him down. Let's see if he got any damage from that, man. His tires were at 93%. They were screaming at him. Definitely good that he went in when he did. Let's take a look at J-Mac and what's going on with him. He's got 87% wear on the tires, 39% fuel. This guy's gonna have to go in soon.
Yeah, and within seconds of you saying that Justin hit the tires going into pit row, Larry B the G bounced off the last turn coming down to go to pit row and then hit the tires going into pit row. So,
oh geez.
Yeah.
You know, once you get up into that 80 and above percent tire wear, it is really brutal, especially for these guys like J-Mac on the no TCS. These guys, they just have to be super gentle and know what they're doing. And you can see the tires there as J-Mac heads into pit road. We're going to see Sky, see if he goes in as a taker. Yeah, he follows right behind. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of these guys going in. We have Scissor Blades taking it. Duke the Rebel's going to come out, and he's going to pass all these guys, take over that lead once again. Oh, Duke the Rebel hits the tire barrier. This is the tire barrier that I'm just telling you guys, you really got to watch out for. Do we have any damage? I don't see any damage, but I can guarantee you that Duke the Rebel is very unhappy, although it is completely silent over the radio.
You know, we were concerned that with all of the turns and the water fountain and all of that, that the drivers would have issues with each other bouncing off of each other and all of that. But the tire barriers seem to be undefeated right now.
And we have another victim as soon as you said that. Larry B the G hits the tire barriers once again. You know, I think we're seeing more victim out of those tires than anything else, but it's just how it is. Long Beach is not an easy track. You really have to watch those tires and how it turns. You got to be a little bit more gentle as the race goes on. And if you don't, you can just find yourself as another victim.
You know, the good thing, Frozen, is that, I mean, if you are the type of person the glass is half full, is that all of these incidents with drivers hitting the tires, they've been alone and there's been no caution as a result of it.
Very, very true, 49er. We have not seen one caution. It's been a caution-free race. However, it has hurt individuals' race here. We saw Ferrari Nut, our first victim. That was more of a technical malfunction.
What was that?
Well, who were you watching? Because if it was the same person I was watching, I saw
that. I'm watching Duke, and
okay.
all of a sudden there was somebody that was like, their car was like sticking out of something.
I didn't see that. I did not see that. You know what I am watching though? I'm watching Flow Dog and those tires. He's at 60%. I think he's gonna have to go in, but man, he's looking great on fuel. But those tires are struggling, and he goes into pit road. So as soon as I'm thinking something, he goes in. So let's take a look at J-Mac, who might become our leader after this. We'll see what happens. He's got a ways to go before that happens. But man, you can see him just spinning those tires coming out of that turn. He's got Duke the Rebel quickly approaching. We're hearing some radio communication between the guys coming out of pit road and the guys going around pit road. That is something that they're going to have to watch out for as they enter back onto the track. It's going to be close. We have Flow Dog up here. He is just now getting off of the pit road there, so it looks like J-Mac will take over. Duke the Rebel's second. Flow Dog looks like he is going to be in, he's falling back to fourth at the moment. We have Sky in third. Incredible race and the amount of lead changes and some of the leaders having issues. 49er, it's all over the place.
And, you know, if there's good things about tracks like this, you know, eventually as the race goes on, the drivers, the lines start thinning out, But then you've got the straightaway and the exit to pit road, so you got to be careful. And then all of that leads into the first turn. We haven't had any issues with that today. This race is going by pretty fast, and the guys are doing a good job. And as soon as I say that, I'm riding with Part Monkey, and he's doing okay. But as soon as he got to the little fountain area thing, it was all he could do to keep from hitting the wall. So, but he's back on track, and so far is having a good race. Currently in 7th.
And I'm taking a look at 8th, which is David out here in 8th, and he's got a lot of company around him. He's got Ferrari Nut coming up on his bumper pretty quickly. He's got Dion in front of him, who looks like he is a lap behind here, but David's gonna have some company pretty shortly with Ferrari Nut coming up. And like I said, that is a man on a mission. He is on the lead lap that I know of, so he's gonna have a run for his money.
Yeah, and we knew that was gonna happen. Again, not taking anything away from any of these drivers, because they're all capable and talented drivers. I mean, that's how they're in the league in the first place. But you have some that just do nothing but tracks like this, and Ferrari probably knows this track very, very well. So yeah, and he, like you said, he's a man on a mission. So, and they knew it was going to happen. They knew he was going to eventually get back on the lead lap, and they were going to have to contend. But right now, he's got some traffic to work through. I'm riding with Duke right now, Frozen, still in 2nd place, trying to work his way up to catch up to J-Mac.
Absolutely. He's got his hands full. J-Mac is looking pretty strong out there right now. Duke shaves off a little piece of the flower bed there, but he is still on his way. Man, some close calls though. Sky's about 300 to 400 feet behind Duke. Can he catch back up to these guys? But I want to take a look back here at Hayden Salmons, our driver spotlight. He is currently sitting in 10th. Coming around the corner here. Looking pretty good. He's about 400 feet behind David and about 5,000 feet in front of Larry, who has been struggling with those tire barriers. And if there is an issue that I personally come into contact with, it's the tire barriers. If you put too much pressure on the brakes, it will make you slide out. You will go straight into the tire barrier, so that's something that these drivers have to watch. But lap 26 of 40, the amount of mental awareness that it takes, and it just wears you out. These guys have to be on it at all times. It's getting pretty crowded back here, 49er. We have Hayden Salmons, David. We also have Dion up in the mix here. 3 cars directly on top of each other. Hayden looks like he is trying to make a move on David here to take over 9th place. We'll see if they can make it happen.
Some nice racing going on back here, Frozen. Dion,
Absolutely.
David, and Hayden.
They're going single file at the moment, but these guys look like they're trying to brew up something. Hayden, I know that he just wants to concentrate on getting those clean laps in. Same with David and Dion. I mean, they're all going for the same thing. But they want to get those points too. I know David's goal, he wants to move up through the field. He is not, he's not going to settle for being the back marker. This guy is going to try to get up in there, the midfield. He is a rookie this season, so he just needs the experience. But man, you see them, those guys are getting really hard on the brakes there. Hayden, David getting into the flowers there. We have Hayden passing him up. David moves back to 10th. Man, close race there, 49er.
Absolutely. I was watching them as they went into the first turn, and Hayden was on it and had to hit the brakes pretty hard and still managed to slide into the back end of David. David recovered from that, but maybe he was still a little caught off guard by that. And then, the water fountain got the best of him, or at least a piece of him. But he didn't suffer too much, as it just dropped back one spot from 9th to 10th.
I am out here with our current leader, the J-Mac Attack 34. He's got about 30% tire wear, 79% fuel. So he's looking pretty good so far. You know, I don't know how this is going to play out as far as pitting. Are these guys going to go in for another pit stop here? Only time will tell. We saw Sky, who basically last week, we saw him save a whole bunch and somehow made it through the race under one stop and really surprised everybody and brought home a podium finish after literally running out of fuel across the line.
Ooh, that was close. Back here riding with Ferrari Nut, and those some tire barriers almost got the best of him again. He is a man on a mission, but you got to watch out for, you know, the entire track. He's cutting his lines pretty close in some of these turns.
Absolutely. I know he is still hoping for a caution to bring everyone back together again. He is no longer a lap down. He's moved up to 7th behind Leaf Justin, who is currently in 6th. However, a caution would bring these guys back together. But those front few guys do not want to see that. They are off and running. They just want to continue that. We see J-Mac Attack, and we see Duke the Rebel, Sky. All these guys, they want to see it go green the rest of the race. And we are on lap 30 of 40, 38 laps of racing. So once we hit 40, the race will be over and a winner will be announced. But man, look how crowded this is going through here. We have J-Mac coming up on a lot of lap traffic. I'm going to take a look and see how we can get him around that.
I'm sure that if you're J-Mac, you don't want to see this. If you're Duke the Rebel and Skyland, yeah, you want to see that. The only thing is, you know, as much as they want J-Mac to have to slow down because of the lap traffic, they're going to have to get around it too, and that's going to be to J-Mac's advantage.
Absolutely. And if you recall, Duke the Rebel trying to pass Votech. Votech hit the wall right at that same barrier. He did move out of the way for J-Mac, so he made it through safely, but that could have been a very close call. But he is safe and sound, making his way through. Didn't hurt him too much, but Duke the Rebel might have gained just a tiny bit as he was trying to make his way around David there.
And a classy move to the driver that moved out of the way. You know, you still want to have a good race yourself, but you don't want to be the one that's holding up the leaders for, you know, from a potential win. So hats off to, I believe that was David that moved out of the way so that J-Mac and Duke could get by him.
And speaking of Duke, he is gaining on our leader. We see from Duke's point of view, he is catching him just a little bit. That car is getting a little bit bigger in his front view here, but man, I think we're going to have quite the battle coming up on these final several laps. Lap 31 of 40. It's going to be pretty close, guys.
You know, Frozen, you know, when you're switching drivers on the game and you're moving through the field of drivers and you look at the map and it's like the dots are going all over the place. You know, 3 is there, and then 5, 4 is way back there, and then 6 is way over there. These guys are spread out pretty much all over the track. I mean, I'm riding with Duke right now, and he's got Duke's in second, and he's got 12th place Dion in front of him. Nope. Oh.
Very, very close, making me nervous. We had these guys going side by side as Dion he might have touched that wall going by, which is how these guys got side by side, but Duke was able to manage to make it on by. But that did cost him some time. He is almost 300 feet back, what we saw before that turn. But man, J-Mac got by pretty easily compared to Duke. So that definitely hurt Duke in the long run. He's going to have to make up some time as we hit lap 32 of 40.
Oh boy. It's crunch time now.
It is crunch time. We have seen the cream of the crop rise to the top tonight, and they are 1, 2, and 3. Sky is making another podium finish if he can round that out tonight and keep that going. But we still have a few laps to go. I cannot say this. You know, it's too early to do so. Anything can happen, and when it can, it usually does. So let's take a look at the fuel, see what's going on here. J-Mac, 50% on tires. We have 65% fuel. I think he'll be a-okay. Let's take a look at Duke the Rebel, see how it's going for him. We have him around the same, a little bit less fuel, but I don't think that's going to be an issue at all. Sky, if I remember, he was a little bit higher up there. No, he's pretty good. So these top 3 guys should be good to go for the rest of the race. Flow Dog, he is our current 4th place position. That guy, tires are amazing. He's doing a fantastic job out there of saving those at 25%. And our top 5 drivers, we have Scissor Blades out there having a very solid run. He's at 50% on tire wear there as we hit the black screen. Hopefully that does not mean anyone has left, but I do see Dion is out, so I do think he lagged out. Al Nash, what's going on? I hope you're doing well and enjoying this race tonight. It is a heck of a race, 49er, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, they're spread out so much in in the field. It's hard to keep track of who is in what position. And if it wasn't for the banners, I heard you say that Dion may have lagged out. Yeah, and I don't see him. I thought we started with 14, maybe it was 13 drivers. Yeah, and Dion, it sucks when that happens, doesn't it, Frozen?
Yeah, it does. You hate to see it for the drivers. It's never anything you want to see. But I'll tell you what, look at this battle brewing up for the lead position here. We have Duke the Rebel, who is quickly approaching J-Mac. I don't know if the no TCS has hurt him in the long run or if it's just car handling from the tires, but Duke is here and he is ready to take that lead back. This was the pole sitter tonight, Duke the Rebel was, and he is going to knock on the door of J-Mac and say, hey, I'm ready to get this position back. I'm ready to take the win and the lead, so give me it back.
Right? Thanks for keeping my seat warm. Now give it back to me.
And look at him. He is just coming up on the heels of J-Mac, and all the while we have 3rd place of Sky not too far behind, just watching this all go down. Let's take a look from Duke's viewpoint here. We'll see what he's seeing. We're gonna go in car with Duke the Rebel as he is racing directly behind J-Mac. He's gonna have to do some defensive driving, but he's gonna have to watch it because his tires, I guarantee the wear on them, making things a little bit slippery out here at Long Beach as he is entering and exiting these turns. You gotta stay off these barriers, you gotta stay off the wall, and you got that iconic fountain you gotta watch out for also. I'm hearing over the radio, 49er, we have David who is coming out of pits, so these guys might run into David as he is entering the raceway. We'll see what happens. I don't see any sign of him anywhere, so they should be good. I think David is possibly around the fountain at the moment, so it will be soon that they might see him.
Probably as soon as they go around this turn.
It's very possible.
Or maybe not this turn, this turn.
We do see a car up ahead as we're looking at J-Mac's point of view. He is your current leader. Be a great time for J-Mac to win. I know that he has wanted a win, obviously, as they all do. So we'll see if he can bring home that win tonight. He will be the 4th driver of the season to bring home a win. We are on our 5th race. So that's a lot of variety, 49er. I'm loving that. I love to put out the images and, you know, congratulate different drivers every week on the win. So great job to these guys.
You know, you hit the nail on the head. You know, any one of these drivers is capable of winning a race, and this season seems to be proving that more than ever because we could potentially have a season where we had more than one new winner,
It's very true.
more than two. Like I think we
Yes.
have three.
We have 3. Can we make it 4? That's what I want to see here tonight. Either way, the top 2, they have not seen a win yet this season, and I do believe even the top 3 have not. After, really with what happened to Ferrari, you hate to see it, but it really opened up the doors for everyone else, and this is their moment to shine, to bring home the win tonight, and to show everyone what they've got. We have J-Mac trying to make his way around David. We'll see if Duke the Rebel can make his way around just as quickly and safely as J-Mac did. But man, it looks like Duke has fallen off just a little bit as we are approaching lap 38 of 40. Only a couple of laps left, guys. As soon as we hit 40, it is done. We're coming up on the final laps here, so I'm excited. Will we see J-Mac win? Will we see Duke the Rebel win? What about Sky? He's in the mix here. Or will something crazy happen and we'll see a whole different winner? We're going to find out in a few laps. Look at Sky 49er. He is directly behind Duke the Rebel. Not a single caution this race. And as soon as I say that,
right,
Sky gets absolutely loose coming out of that turn. He is still on him, though. I'll tell you what. He is just hanging tight, but he kisses the wall once again. Let's take a look at the tires. It is going to be close. We have 62% tire wear. These guys very, very close as Sky just drives it in, almost hits Duke the Rebel. Sky is struggling to keep control of that car. Extremely loose out there. He is one that is with no TCS, and you can tell his handling is extremely hard, and he's going to have to do a lot of work to make sure that he can keep up with Duke at this point. Man, they are making me so nervous.
Yeah. Keeping up with Duke doesn't seem to be the problem. It's figuring out how to get by him in what, less than a lap and a half, less than a lap.
And this is it. We're on lap 39 of 40. We only have a couple more turns left, and we're gonna see a winner here. Can J-Mac do it? Duke the Rebel has his hands full with Sky. So we're gonna go ahead and get J-Mac. Hopefully we can get him across the line as the winner in one piece. So we'll see what happens, but we have a battle brewing up behind us, and we'll see what happens with that. But here comes J-Mac around that final turn. Very, very sharp turn here. He will be your winner at the Grand Prix of Long Beach. Let's get him across the line. Congratulations to him. Let's take a look at Duke the Rebel, because I guarantee there is something brewing up here. We have Duke the Rebel in second, Sky in third. What an amazing race.
Frozen. That Skyland went for broke on the last turn, and I thought because he tapped the back of Duke the Rebel, and I thought that Duke was done. And Duke did an amazing job of keeping composure, working through the turn, saving the turn, and hitting the gas maybe a little bit faster than Skyland did, but Skyland went all out on that last turn. He wanted that. He wanted second place.
Here is your winner, J-Mac Attack, and that number 1. He was your previous champion of season 3, but Duke, you are correct, 49er. That guy put on a heck of a race, and I'll tell you what, this is the most quiet I have heard this radio this season yet, or honestly any season. These guys were just concentrating so hard, so focused tonight, and I feel like Duke had his best race yet simply because he was quiet and focused. You didn't hear a peep out of him. Really proud of the race he ran tonight. He did a great job bringing home a second. Slayer, you said yes. The race is over. Lap 40 is just a cool down lap. J-Mac is your winner. Duke the Rebel came in second. Sky came in third. Thank you so much for the compliment too, by the way. And the follow. You guys are awesome. Shout out to BDF out there. I see you out there.
What up, BDF?
Yeah, the race is off. It's at 40. Once you hit 40, it is over. These guys are on a cool down lap just to make sure we can get everyone across the line and finish properly to get that order. See a little bit of lag there, but man, J-Mac has got to be excited, and I still don't hear a peep from that guy.
Congratulations to J-Mac. Wow, what was that?
I saw a little bit of lag there.
A little bit?
Little bit of lag.
A little bit.
As soon as we get these guys across the line, as J-Mac just slams into the wall there.
Well, if you're gonna do it,
act
might
like
as well do it at the
that.
end of the race.
There you go. You know what, Al? All these guys were completely silent during the entire race. Now, the emotions are high, and these guys are just happy that the race is over. They all did extremely well. They're having fun. Spirits are high right now. It's a fun time in the radio.
No cautions.
No cautions. No cautions.
The plants in the fountain survived.
No shenanigans, as Al Nash says. Absolutely. All right, now that we're back in the lobby, let's get the front guys in here. I gotta bring Ferrari Nut in here also. We gotta talk to him about what happened. Yeah. So we'll get our winner, J-Mac, attacking. Previous champ. He's also a Pro League driver for the NASCAR series. We'll get Sky in here. And we can't forget about our pole sitter. Best finish of the season so far, Duke the Rebel. Welcome, drivers. Man, what an incredible race, J-Mac. Congratulations on the win. How you feeling right now?
Feeling pretty good there. Needed some crazy circumstances to happen, and Duke was very fast and had me scared the whole time. And that was I'm glad we were able to put on a good show there, because that was a lot of fun for my end. And yeah, I'm just thankful I actually get to talk to y'all for once. It hasn't been the least miserable season ever, and it's nice to actually have a little bit of positivity to talk about here.
Absolutely. I know you were talking about that. You were mentioning how you want to be in the booth after the race. You want to get here, and here you are. Man, you skipped past second and third, and he's just like, let's go straight for the win. So you did a great job driving out there. I gotta ask, were you concerned when you saw Duke the Rebel in the mirror once again?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you got a guy right behind you at a tough track where one mistake lets him by. Yeah, that's definitely was that first run. I was trying to stay I was trying to stay on plan. I was just trying to make sure I didn't cook my tires too much, that I could go as many laps I wanted to go. I wanted to go those 20 green flag laps. So I was like, all right, that lap 21 on the counter, that's my mark. And that was just what I was trying to get to, so that I would have a little in the tank if I needed to drive hard that 18. And we kept going, and he was running really, really good lap times and pulling away from me, and he kept going. I was like, man, if he gets to lap 19, or if he's able to cut this thing in half, I'm in trouble. And he came in one lap early, and so I was like, all right, I need to put down a couple of decent laps here on old tires. And I came out in front of him, so I was assuming he probably used that opportunity to save a little bit. I don't know if he had issues or what, but I was assuming he saved a bit, and he kind of maintained the gap to me. And we were running the same lap times, and then yeah, he mounted a charge there at the end, and I had to turn up the wick a bit. And I think my advantage on tires that I accrued from the first run was the difference there, because yeah, he was really quick and he was running one heck of a race, so he definitely kept me honest the whole time.
Absolutely. I mean, you had a great race, and it was fun watching you guys battle it out there at the beginning and the middle and end. You guys had a great race. So, just a huge congratulations to you on your first win of the season. Hopefully, we'll see you get a few more out here. You were the season champ for season 3, so a great start to the mid part of the season here. Congratulations, J Mac.
Finally drove halfway like it. Yay, go me. but but no, I am extremely excited and I love this track and I'm super happy to finally actually get a win here. Because last season I got passed with like 2 or 3 to go by Metallica and so to be able to hold on here, I needed Ferrari to have some battery issues to do it because he was clearly the car to beat, uh but him having issues was able to allow me and Duke to put on a pretty good show, I hope.
I think so, and that's exactly what happened. Unfortunate for Ferrari Nut, but great for you. So congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, 49er, let's bring out second place of Duke the Rebel.
All right. First off, congratulations to J Mac on the win. Congratulations to Duke for being our pole sitter and second place finisher. Dude, you were driving the wheels off that thing. So tell me what your thought process was once you saw that Ferrari wasn't going to be a factor.
To put it blatantly, I had a lot more confidence boost now knowing that he wasn't just going to pull ahead and completely dominate the race. I mean, I gotta be honest here. As soon as I saw that I could lead a few laps, I was able to settle down, really plan it out, and just see what I could do by hopefully saving and getting the best out of my first stint. Because that was the most important part of the race, is that first stint before pitting.
And speaking of pitting, you went in when you wanted to, or did, again, him not being a factor change any strategies that you may have had in place?
Unfortunately, I had to go in at least 1 or 2 laps early because I did not save enough. My goal was to make it to the end of lap 20 or at least the beginning of lap 21, which is the same thing, I know, but it kind of frustrated me because I thought that now I'm going to have to work extra hard to actually catch up to everyone again, make sure that I stay on pace but not block up too much or overwork my tires. But in the end, didn't really work out, but it did work out in the same way as well.
And my last question, because we know, obviously, second place, you're trying to gain on JMac. And in your rearview mirror, Sky was all over you, especially going into the last turn. Talk me through what you were thinking when you saw him gaining on you on the last lap.
Um, well, first I do want to address that he would have been a little bit further back, but I really hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure Dion held me up more than he held J-Mac up because if you guys are watching us, and I have to call him out here because I don't know what he was doing, but when we came out of the fountain, because he let J-Mac by, but for some reason he decided to stay side by side with me through the turn directly after that, and right on my quarter panel, the turn after that one. So him holding me up kind of gave Skyline the advantage to catch up to me. I'm not saying he did that on purpose, but still, he should have gotten completely off the gas after the fountain. But to go back to with Skylin, all I knew is that I had to be clean with him because I did not want a repeat of last week between me and J-Mac. I do not want those problems to stir up again, but all I know is that he had way fresher tires than I am, and I was on red front tires, so I had to be extremely careful.
Well, given the situation and the circumstances, you made the best of it. You drove a great race, all things considered, and you got second place. So hats off to you. And again, congratulations on a great race and being the pole sitter, and just great race. Um, so now there's
Thank
nothing
you.
going on next week. So now you get to chill for a little bit.
Yeah, and work on tire saving. That's definitely something I need to work on.
All right, Frozen, take it away.
All right, we're with Sky, who is our podium up here in third. How you doing tonight, Sky?
That would have been a little better if I wasn't so slow on the first stint. I almost had him.
You almost did, and I feel like the handling of your car at the end of the race is what got you. Do you think that the team no TCS and the tire wear is what kind of did that in at the final few laps there?
No, that's what gave me a chance.
Okay.
Quite the opposite. I just overdrove the car. I made some
Okay.
rookie mistakes, and I was braking too late. I was digging into the gas too hard. 2 to go or 1 to go. I was coming out of the final corner and just mashed it because I thought I could steer it and hold on to it, and I couldn't. And that lost me a ton of time. I lost like 100 feet from that one corner.
Right.
So I made a lot of stupid mistakes trying to catch Duke. If I would have kept running my usual line and my usual pace that I had been up into that point in the second stint, I would have blown right by him as far as the lap times are concerned. But instead, I gave up a quarter second here, a half second there, and I only had one turn to do anything with him, and that wasn't enough.
Yeah,
But no, my tires were fine at the end, actually. I wasn't having any problems in that department. I was just overdriving it.
I was curious because I was watching the battle with you guys, and you were directly on his tail there. But I know coming out of the turns, I was amazed. You did a fantastic job of saving that car because there were several times where I really thought you were just going to completely lose it with how loose it was getting on you coming out of the turns and how much you were getting on the gas there. So I gotta tell you, you did a great job of the way you handled that race car towards the end of the race. And third place, it's a great position to be in. You did a great job. You put a heck of a battle between you and Duke out there. So congratulations on top 3.
Yeah, thank you. I wish I didn't lose so much time in the first stint. I was like a half a second off pace for the first 20 laps, and if I wasn't that far off, I might have had something for J-Mac at the end there. I might have been in front of him even, but oh well, that's what I get for not practicing. I practiced last week, not this week. I need to practice before the race, not last week.
That usually helps. So hopefully we'll get you to be able to do that for Indianapolis. That's coming up for the Indy Grand Prix. But man, our next interview, Ferrari nuts, a heartbreaker right there. Tell us what happened, Ferrari.
Well, plain and simple, doesn't matter even if you're the best there is. When shit fails, it fails. So
It's true.
Friggin' driving around on the second lap, and driving around on the second lap, and it tells me, oh, your controller batteries are low. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can make this work. Don't really want to lose vibration. And then it just went immediately after that in the next lap.
Wow.
So
you get to the lead,
it
that
couldn't
happens.
it couldn't have told me that. It couldn't have told me that while we were sat there on the grid for 3 minutes. That would have been too easy.
That would have been, yeah, that figures, right? But I'll tell you what, you were a man on a mission. You went a lap down, you fought your way back to get your lap back, and then you were trying to make your way up through the field, and you did a heck of a job. I know you were hoping for a caution, but man, if only, it's one of those things. If only that didn't happen. I think you would have been fighting up there for the win tonight, but you did a hell of a job making your way up through that field and getting it back. Yeah.
Even if I hadn't had to make that, even if I hadn't had to make a pit stop for the idiotic amount of damage I got, I didn't even hit the wall that hard.
Yeah.
And it basically destroyed the car. And then, of all places, you'd expect here that there'd be at least 1 or 2 yellows, but somehow we managed to get spread out enough. We all just run the race.
Of course.
So,
It's just how it goes sometimes.
If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen here.
Exactly. It's Long Beach, where anything can happen. It's most likely going to. But I'm proud of all you drivers. You guys ran a fantastic race out there tonight. Y'all should be very proud of yourself. Congratulations once again to J-Mac on his win, first win of the season. That'll give him great momentum. I gotta ask you guys, how do you feel about moving into the 2019 IndyCars?
Woo!
Yay!
I know some are excited, some are. What'd you say, Duke?
As of currently, I have not stepped foot in those cars yet.
Well, you need to
So,
step
That's
foot
not a
and
good
get
idea.
some laps in on there, but
You need
well,
to
I
put
have a
more
week,
than just a
so
foot in
I'll
there,
find a
buddy.
way.
yeah, a couple of feet would
They are
help, but
very, very different cars.
they are. They're a lot of fun. They're a little bit more loose, I do believe, but I feel like you can get be a little bit more aggressive on the brakes. And I know that we're gonna have a tune coming out there for the Indianapolis throwback race. So that should be pretty good. I'm excited to see you guys out there in it. You guys rocked this track tonight. I know a lot of you guys are not fans of it, but man, what a race. You guys did great.
I think everybody who's in here is pretty happy with this track.
I think so.
Unsurprisingly.
It
I
might
think-
be
I
a
think all of
different
us
story
like
for
this
the
place.
rest. Yeah.
I still don't, but still,
Well, that's
I'm glad that I was able to conquer it today.
And that you did. I
Well,
mean, you got on pole, so you did great.
Like she said, you guys drove a hell of a race, and even to Ferrari with, you got to stop using those Rayovacs and try some Energizer bunnies or Duracells.
Yes.
You had Hayden Salmons
But
with
still,
the battery issue before the race. You got it with Ferrari at the beginning of the race. Y'all need to check your batteries, man.
yeah. But for being able to get back on the lead lap on your own, I mean, just dude, like damn. And then
I
the
hear
fight
you.
for first and second and third, it's like, just crazy. I couldn't keep track of who to watch.
Absolutely. Well, that is it for us tonight. You will see us back in 2 weeks. Next week, we are on an off week. We will be back for the Indianapolis Grand Prix. So it should be a heck of a race. I'm excited for these guys. Until then, you guys take it easy, 49er. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun. It's over for tonight. That's all we have.
I can't believe it's over, and I love races like this because, one, I'm not driving the track, and two, it's guaranteed to have some kind of excitement and some kind of, I don't want to say drama, but something different is going to happen, and the potential for another new winner. That makes number four?
Number 4.
Number 4. I'm not going to know what to
Absolutely.
do with myself next week because there's no race. So I got to remind myself, go to bed on time.
I know. I'll be somewhere out in the cave somewhere, so hopefully I don't get too terribly lost, but it should be a lot of fun. But until we see you guys, enjoy the upcoming week, and we will see you in 2 weeks back on Monday at 6:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Indianapolis Grand Prix. Until then, take it easy, guys.